My name is Luis. I own 2 barbershops and a detail shop. I've been into cars since I was 7 years old. My passion was actually cars. I seen my dad driving a 1971 Toyota Corolla. Kind of got me into the fire where I love cars. My first car was a 1974 Toyota Corolla. I bought it back in 1996. I always loved BMWs. My first BMW was on a 1997 E36, and I fell in love with the car. That kind of like bit the bug that got me into getting more BMWs. The car that I have behind me is a 2011 BMW 335 E90. It's set up on airbags. It has a white body kit, 20-inch wheels, and a unique paint job. Well, when we decide to modify the E90, it's a very rare vehicle to find on a white body, along with 20-inch wheels and the color paint. When I first got the vehicle, it was a blue water metallic, which is a lovely color, but it gets boring quickly. It's kind of hard to find wheels that match with the car. So I wanted something more of a sinister look, and I ended up changing the car to a space gray, like a darker version of the space gray. The modifications onto a vehicle is a long list. I have from the white body kit to the 20-inch wheels, bigger turbo, port injection. It's running on full E85 with a bigger fuel pump, charge pipe, intercoolers, the whole 9 yards. The car is not fully modified. It's still a couple of more stuff I would like to do. Eventually change the color, throw a bigger turbo, and probably change the wheels. I spent a lot of money on the vehicle. Unfortunately, I lost count after a couple of grand. You don't keep track because you don't want to hurt your heart, but it has at least over $10,000 invested. $1 million. I would never sell that vehicle. If I were to sell this vehicle, I would sell it for $1 million. Just kidding, I would never sell this vehicle. I own a few other BMWs. I have a 2008 E90 M3, slick top, single hump. I have a 2008 John Cooper Works Mini, and I have a 2016 X4 M. I first purchased the vehicle in July 2015. My first mods were wheels. I had some black wheels on, some CSL style wheels on. From there, I ended up doing the suspension. I lowered the car with some H&R springs. And from there, I did a bigger turbo, which was a stage 1 pure turbo. And then little by little, it just started getting boring, and I ended up to where it's full blown now. From the white body kit to the 20-inch wheels, to the manual transmission swap. Car used to be automatic before. Now it's a complete 6-speed swap from a 135i. It took me about 3 years to build a car complete to where it is now. Of course, if I were to go back, of course, the first thing I would do would be the manual swap. Do the 6-speed swap first. That changes the whole life of the vehicle. What's unique about the vehicle, there's probably about 3 to 4 E90 white bodies in Florida at the moment. So you don't see a lot of them. So when you see one driving down the road, it kind of catches your eye. Yes, most of the work was done by myself, my brother, and my cousin. We did a lot of the body work to the car. We did a lot of the performance bolt-ons to the car. And a couple of friends that went in that day to the shop and just decided to give a hand. Yes, the wheels are DPE wheels. The fronts are 20 by 11.5. The rears are 20 by 16. I built them myself. I bought the faces from DPE. And a friend of mine that owns an M3 actually is the one that got me into getting the wheels. And I ended up getting barrels and so on until I made the perfect fitment for the car.
What tire size are you running?
At the moment, the front tire size that I'm running are 265 30 20s. On the rears are 345 25 20s.
And they're stretched?
And they're super stretched. I did the manual swap because I was getting bored of the car. I wanted something more exciting to drive, so I was either looking into purchasing another car or doing the manual swap. I read through the forums, I read a couple of details about it, and I was skeptical at first because it did sound like it was a little of a headache. But to be honest, I was able to do it in a day. What's the hardest was the wiring. It took 5 minutes, and the coding and programming of the car. Yes, the vehicle now currently sits on a pure stage 2 turbo. Again, it has PR coils, it has throttle body port injection, and I'm capable of doing over 530. It hasn't been fully tuned. I'm sure it's over 500 horsepower now, around the same power and torque. Eventually, I want to go and add the meth on it and see if that could spark up a little more with a bigger turbo. Right now, I have a stage 2 bucketless fuel pump. All the lines are stock, but what I added is a low pressure fuel sensor on the vehicle, because the N55s don't come with that. And I have a separate gauge that manages that and lets me know what's going on. I run straight E85 on the vehicle. I purchased the body kit from Harn Motorsports online, and I ended up doing all the body work to the car along with some friends. First, it comes with the rear panels, the front fenders, and front bumper attachment. Once you put on the car, it gets attached with the screws, glue, or rivets. But I ended up having to blend it into the car for a nice, smooth look. The body work on the car took me about a year, from starting to bolt it on to get it a smooth finish to get it finished with paint. Headlights on the vehicle are OEM. All I had done were black them out with angel eyes. It takes a little bit of practice. There's no such thing as a 3-point turn on a wide body, especially with the size wheels that I'm running. So it takes a little bit of practice. Straightaways is a perfect angle. That's why I went ahead and I backed the vehicle. On corners, I'm able to raise it up, be able to make full U-turns without scraping or any issues like that. I have US airbags on the car, along with a Vire air compressor with a tank. Yes, I installed the air system myself. It was custom built to the car, along with the manual switches and the gauges. And currently the vehicle is running with -4 camber in the rear and -2 in the front. I'll say 90% of the work was done by myself. I did purchase a lot of parts from other shops, from Self-Made Motorsports, Euromotive, along with MPI Performance. My name is Luis. My Instagram is A Cut Above Barbershop, and behind me is a 2011 335 wide body. Want to go ahead and thank Euromotive Performance, BMW Invasion, and all the guys that participated on this video.
Bingo. Boom.
Yeah?
Done. It's a wrap.
I don't need to take my clothes off? Thank you, bro.
Video.
Right?